So Robin, you're a wellness coach and strategist. And today I'd really like to ask you, how can love help us conquer chaos in our life?
Well, first of all, we know that there's a lot of chaos in all of our lives these days.
Yeah.
Our lives are going at such an amazing pace. And often what comes out of that feeling of chaos is a lack of control over what's happening around you and, over your circumstances. And what comes out of that is an overwhelming feeling of stress.
Yes, absolutely.
And stress is actually the underlying cause of many, many different chronic ailments today.
Yes.
So we have to stop and ask ourselves, well, what's the antidote? What's the cure to that? What's going to offset all this stress and chaos and feelings of lack of control? Well, love.
Right.
Love really can. And it's amazing because it happens on so many different levels. As we know, just the feeling and the energy of love can be very healing. But you can take that down to a physical level because when you experience stress, you get a surge in the hormone cortisol.
Yeah.
Okay, cortisol is a hormone that helps you cope with stress. And it's great that it's there to help you cope with stress. But when stress is ongoing, and therefore when your cortisol is elevated for a long period of time, that's when the chronic ailments happen. When you experience love and connection and bonding with someone, you get a surge in the hormone oxytocin.
Yeah.
And oxytocin is like the direct antidote to cortisol because oxytocin will directly lower your cortisol levels.
Right.
So it really has an incredible health promoting effect on the body.
So let's just say I'm really stressed.
Yeah.
How can I feel more love? Like consciously, how can I make that feeling show up in my day to help me feel the different emotion, to calm myself down and take myself away from that feeling of stress?
Yeah. Well, we are social creatures, right? So if you are having a day where you're really stressed, you're really overwhelmed, you can stop and remind yourself that you have something really important in your arsenal, and that is your loved ones.
Yeah.
So you can call up a close girlfriend, your husband, your mother, someone you know is going to help you put things in perspective and help you have a good laugh. And often just by connecting, taking a time out and connecting with a loved one, you can suddenly feel that connection and get that beautiful surge of oxytocin. And the stress is still the same, right? The chaotic situation is still the same.
But then maybe your perception of it changes.
That's right. That's right. Your perception changes.
Because it's kind of like when you're feeling really low, a normal problem seems bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
I can think right now of two friends who I call that just lift me up.
Yeah.
And I actually need to see them at least, perhaps I call them on a daily basis, and I need to see them physically at least once a week.
Yeah.
To just kind of realign myself and see the world from that perspective.
That's beautiful. So unconsciously, you are creating stress management just by remaining in contact with these close friends.
Yeah. So how do you do it on a weekly basis? How do you balance your stress and bring in more love?
Gratitude is another huge tool. So there are times where I'm very prone to overwhelm, to feelings of overwhelm, and this is why I guess I discuss it a lot, and I support a lot of my clients in this way who are experiencing overwhelm. Reminding myself of what I'm grateful for has such power.
Yeah.
So when I'm in a moment of overwhelm and my to-do list is so long, number one, I can connect with someone and experience that loving feeling and that beautiful surge of oxytocin. But number two, I can just stop and think of what I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Because even if you are experiencing hardship and maybe crisis, maybe stress, there's always something to be grateful for.
There is.
Always. And so gratitude is a huge tool to use.
You know, I really agree, and I started practicing gratitude last year, consciously. I think we all do throughout our lives, but then I made a conscious effort last year, and my life really changed. But then I noticed that, like, I write a journal. I noticed when I stopped writing that journal, I kind of fell off the vibration of gratitude. So for me, it's a real practice.
Yeah, it is a practice. It is a practice, and you have to remind yourself every day. You know, and I think that what you do in writing it down is an excellent way to
Do you write it
remain
down?
connected. I do sometimes. Yeah, I do sometimes, and then other times it's just simply a thought.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a thought, and I will often think that thought immediately following when my thoughts start to go into that victim mode of, poor me, this is so frustrating, you know, whatever it is. If I just stop and say, but this is an amazing problem to have, you know, what abundance and prosperity I have in my life that I can even consider, you know, these different choices, or I can consider, you know, just there are so many different choices that we have.
Do you think it's easier for women to feel gratitude? Like, is gratitude a feminine energy, or is it just as easy for men to feel gratitude?
I would say it's both masculine and feminine, but perhaps it's more accessible to women. Because feminine energy is an expansive energy. And when you are expansive, I think that implies being open, and therefore being open to receiving as well. And masculine energy is much more contractive and focused, those are good qualities. We all need both. But sometimes when you're contractive and focused and super productive, you may not be allowing for that feeling of openness and receiving and gratitude.
Well, thank you very much.
Fear is limitation. It's limiting yourself and not allowing yourself to expand in a way that is loving and accepting of the world outside and of yourself. Love is one of the highest, purest energies we can experience, and it is what connects us to other people and to ourselves, and it enables us to move mountains, to heal, and to grow. Courage is a fabulous emotion because it allows you to grow and to push beyond what feels comfortable. Without it, maybe we wouldn't grow. We might stay static. Feelings are actually what drive all of our behaviors. Feelings are what connect us to other people. And often, though, our feelings are a result of our thoughts. So if we want to raise our vibration, feel good, it doesn't just start with wanting the feeling, it starts with changing our thoughts.